Hello, Scrap for Cash Army. I have I've got a poll question. Because maybe I'm looking at it wrong, or maybe I'm looking at it as an adult. Maybe I'm looking at it somebody with common sense. Maybe I'm looking at it with somebody that has respect. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Let me give you. I'll just ask you the question, and you all comment away on your answers. If you're out scrapping, let's say you're out scrapping. Let's say you're a scrapper. Let's say you're an elite scrapper, because obviously you're watching my channel, so you know what an elite scrapper is. And you come up on a, let's say it's a clean out of the house, and there's a bunch of clothes, and you see maybe there's a lamp, but when you come down the street, you see somebody at that pile in their car with their lift gate up, and they're loading up stuff. Do you pull over and join in, or do you just go on, back off, leave them their space because they got there first? It should be their choice of what they want to get without having somebody else come in and start grabbing stuff. Now, I realize it's at the curb, it's fair game, but isn't that just being respectful in my mind? Because that's what I will do. If I see a scrap pile and I see another guy there loading up stuff, I'm not gonna pull in and start grabbing stuff that he's not able to get to, that he may have wanted or she may have wanted. So you tell me your opinion on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just need to, hop the curb, come in sideways in the grass, and start loading stuff up. I just feel like that's a matter of respect. Now, has that happened to me where I've been loading stuff and then somebody else come in and start horning in? Yes, of course it does. But I've also had to look at them and say, you know what, you touch that lamp, you're going to lose a finger. Asshole. And now I'm going to switch over to the Scrap for Cash political desk just for a moment. I'm sure everybody knows by now that President Joe Biden has decided he'd rather have pudding at 8 o'clock and go to bed than do what's going to be required to run for, and I'm not mocking him. He's old. I mean, he's 81. He'd like to, just sit around the house and not have to do anything. He's done enough. The guy's been in politics for 50 years. Hats off to him for recognizing that, even though it took everybody turning against him. Because as you get older, as I can attest to, you get you get something in your head and you hang on to it and you don't let go. Of course, I've always been, what's the word I'm looking for here? Shut up. I don't need your all's help on this. Obstinate. That's a good word. Obstinate. You get obstinate. I've got more obstinate as I've gotten older. But at 81, am I going to be out filling up a truck, loading washing machines? Yeah, I don't think so. But having said all that, I respect making that decision. If you're not able to, for God, party, country, you move on. Hats off to you, brother, and I respect your decision. Now you got to be able to eat your pudding and not have nobody ask you a bunch of dumb questions. But all I'm hearing on the TV and radio now is how the conversation changes now, because the number one issue that the Democrats have over the Republicans is abortion. I realize I'm not a woman, and I honestly, my feelings on abortion is I have no dog in that fight. I have no dog in that fight. Do I think that issue goes, because we kind of speak out of both sides of our mouth. If you're a criminal, let's say you're going to rob a woman, you're mugging her on the street, and she fights back, and you got a gun, and you shoot her and kill her, and she's pregnant, they're going to charge you with 2 counts of murder, because that baby inside her is considered a life. On the abortion issue, apparently they forget about that. That's my personal opinion. You know, whether you like it or not, I really don't care. That's just my personal opinion. Hats off to President Biden for doing what he did. I respect that. But if the Democratic Party think the #1 issue facing Americans today is access to abortion, then you all are a bunch of idiots. And that's the reason why we're in the situation that we're in. That's the reason why we have illegal immigration overflowing this country, inflation, and high prices, and gas costs, and not being able to pay rent. We've got real issues. We need serious people to fix them. Abortion is not even on the top 10 as far as I'm concerned, as far as what I go through in my daily life. And I will say one more thing on this subject, then I'll shut up, because it's probably going to piss a bunch of people off. Abortion is not freaking health care. And on this episode of Scrap for Cash, what's wrong with America? Disney apparently is changing one of its rides because it depicts a bear that could be considered offensive. Wait for it. To alcoholics. If you're an alcoholic, I mean, don't you live within the confines of offensiveness at that point? And there's people out there, I'm sure it's going to say, it's not their fault, it's a medical issue. No, it's not. It's a drinking issue, you bunch of idiots. And I'll tell you one thing, those watering troughs we got off that guy, those cattle watering troughs that he was using for his quail, apparently a place for them to pee and poop, it smells like the country out here. Apparently I'm downwind from them. Lord have mercy, those things gotta go. You have got to get out of the way. That's perfect. Of course it did. Why else wouldn't it? move a little bit out of the way, so trying to get y'all a good camera angle here. God, dog, it stinks out here. Probably not. Ta-da! It's called processing a load, folks. This is what you do to get a load ready. I've got a partial scrap load. I've got a breakage aluminum engine. I got that big compressor, and I'm gonna have a big bucket of extruded when I get done processing it. I've got 3 chairs in the back of that truck. I'm gonna do the same thing too, process them. And then I'm gonna get rid of one of those tanks and a grill, and I think it's a cooler over there. Get rid of that too. Yeah. This is what I'm doing today. What are you all doing? Well, there goes that table. Moving on to the chairs. Now that one is pre-processed, so I can cut it up, put it in the barrel. Let's move on. I got 2 more, gonna be done the same way, but you don't need to see all that. You just need to see it in the barrel. That's the exciting part. And you get paid.